Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Prime Sports. With me, Owuraku Ampofo, head coach of the Black Maidens, Babanuhu, is confident Ghana will reach the fourth round of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup qualifiers. He has been speaking ahead of Saturday's second leg, third round qualifier against Guinea at the Cape Coast Stadium.
Our aim is to qualify and move to the next stage. If we are even getting a half goal, that will propel us to the next stage. It's welcome. If we are getting 100 goals, that will send us to the next stage. It's welcome. But our aim is not to play ultimately to get more goals, but to qualify. Whichever form that we are going to play to qualify to the next stage, I think that is what we have been working for. Every player, even at the top level, sometimes players can get those kind of begging chances and they will not be able to convert them. What is most important is to try and repeat it, and then let them put it into practice. Then we pray that when it comes in match situation, they will be able to convert it. So I think on our return, that is what we have been doing. We have been working, practicing, putting it in game situations, and then making it real. So I'm very sure that once we get those kind of chances in the game, definitely we'll be able to take them.
Even though we beat them at their home, we will not find it difficult here, but we are going to play our maximum best to pick the 3 points. We are not scared of anything because with the training we have gone through, I believe in my team and the coach, I believe in him. That with the training he has given to us, we are going to beat everyone and qualify to the World Cup.
Let's do some more stories where former Senegal captain El Hadji Diouf has called on football legends of African football to follow in the steps of Samoa Gyan. The former Sunderland forward would release his book on Saturday. The project is aimed at capturing the memoirs of the former Sunderland striker. El Hadji Diouf has been speaking to my colleague Gary Alsmith.
Definitely, like what I said before. The book we're gonna write right now is not about how good we are. People know how good Samoa Gyan was because if you go to Google, you can see. Same to me. But the most important thing about this book is about you can come from zero to be tomorrow hero. You know, like what I say, my grandparents used to sell fish and peanut. Life was so hard. I remember my first boots of football, and today I'm the happiest man in the world. And it's about how we make it and where we're coming from. And you can come from this level and to reach the highest level possible about wanting respect, hard work, and like what I always say, respecting your teammate. Because we're winning, we're good because we have a good teammate too.
I was asking you, how important is it for more and more African players to write their own story? How important is it?
Of course, it's very important because tomorrow, in 50 years time, this future generation coming, they have to know maybe Asamoah is not here anymore. I'm not here in 50 years time anymore. I hope I...
No, you'll be here.
But if we are not here at the school, they have to know who's Samoa Gyan. He was a top scorer in the World Cup. And he's still the top scorer, African top scorer in the World Cup, and he do it very well and make it African very proud. Today we're talking about World Cup. Since we left the World Cup, I played one World Cup, I played the quarterfinal of the World Cup. Sam, to Asamoah, he played quarterfinal of the World Cup. How amazing he is, and people don't know how hard he is, because the World Cup is not like the African Nation Cup, because the World Cup mentally, you have to be ready, and you have to fight for the big gun one, like Zidane, like Maradona, like Johan Cruyff. That's why they call you after the world-class players.
Meanwhile, President of the Ghana Football Association, Ket Owuraku, has commended the Ghana legend for the initiative and has promised to grace the occasion on Saturday. After signing a pre-contract with Royal Antwerp, Dutch-born right-back Nathaniel Amoah is dreaming of playing for the junior teams of Ghana and eventually the Black Stars in the near future. Joy Sports' Asari Bediako caught up with him while he was on holidays in Ghana.
The hugely talented right-back began his career at Amsterdam-based Zeebrugge before joining the junior team of Eredivisie club FC Utrecht. Nathaniel Amoah has also had spells with the B team of Serie A giant Napoli, and just recently he signed a pre-contract agreement with Belgian side Royal Antwerp. Amoa is eligible to represent the junior teams of the Netherlands, but he wants to play for Ghana instead.
Yeah, if I would get a call for the youth sides of the Black Stars, I would really like to join them. And of course, in the future, I would like to play for the Black Stars.
But you were born in Holland, right? You're born in Holland. You can play for the Orange. Why do you want to play for Ghana?
Because it's a dream of my grandmother, and also a dream for me since I was a small boy, to once play for the Black Stars and represent my country.
Nathaniel Amoa is dreaming of becoming a top right back in the not too distant future.
Yeah, in the next 5 years, I hope to make a lot of development in my own career and in my game. And I hope to play for a big club one day in the couple of 5 years and become one of the best right backs in the world. I am a box-to-box, so I like to go up, and I also can come back. And I like to give an assist, and sometimes I even can make a goal. So I'm like a wing back, but I am also very good in defending. So.
By dint of hard work and discipline, Nathaniel Amoa will realize his biggest dream yet, to feature for four-time African champions, the Black Stars.
Let's look ahead to what to expect this weekend, and we start off with the Ghana Premier League fixtures with some tasty games to look forward to. It's match day 27, just about 7 more games to the end of the season. Asante Kotoko would want to put an end to their bad form when they travel to Sogakope to face Wafa. We do have Heart of Oak also trying to put pressure and get back into the top 4 when they host Dreams FC. Ashanti Gold are home against Berekum Chelsea, whilst on Monday, Adriana Stars face Mediama. Now joining us on the phone lines is Insura FM's Nuhu Adams, who has been following Kotoko quite closely this season. And we'll be talking to him about what exactly is causing the slump in form for Asante Kotoko. Just a couple of weeks ago, they looked like they were running away with the league after beating their rival Tartufok. But things have turned around and there's been a downturn of form for the Porcupine Warriors. Nuhu, it's a pleasure to have you this evening. What would you summarize as some of the issues that have faced Prosperity in the last few weeks?
Well, I would say it's a matter of player revolt because some of the players are not happy with the way the head coach, that's Dr. Prosper, handle certain issues within camp. So we all heard the story of Patrick Asma being suspended for the rest of the season. He's not alone. There are other players who are also not happy about how things are going because they feel they are not getting equal treatment as players. Some of them feel there are players who will not even train the entire week. They will train only a day and will get the nod to start ahead of them. So they are not happy. I think it's just about how the coach will be able to handle these issues. You know, Kotoko have been affected by player votes for quite some time now. Last season, Kotoko were leading the league table until when they had issues with the players and coaches, and then the table turned around for Hasselhoff to win the league. I think 2 seasons ago we had similar situations in the team. So I think it is something the head coach and the technical team should take it as a setback. Then they will have to reorganize themselves, try to solve any issues within the camp, and then make sure they hit the ground running again. Because looking at the point difference between them and Bechem United, Bechem still has a chance to win the league. Hasselhoff also feel if Kotoko should drop points this weekend and Hasselhoff win, it means they are closing in on Kotoko. So they'll get the morale booster and the encouragement that they can still go ahead and win the league from Kotoko. So I think it's everything is on Kotoko they have to try as much as possible to make sure they won't lose that at the summit of the table.
And their disciplinary committee or their board or the leadership took a stern decision to suspend Patrick Asma. Do you think that's the way to go, and do you suspect we might be seeing a little bit more of that getting to the end of the season?
Yeah, every team has the code of conduct. So if you go contrary to the code of conduct of the club, there are punishments which the players are aware. And I think what Patrick Asma did was way a violation to the code of conduct. So he deserves to be punished. And the punishment is suspending him for the rest of the season. I think it is within the Kotoko team that whichever player misbehaves will be punished. And Patrick Asma is a victim today. But I think they have to be strict on certain things within the team. The code of conduct should work. Players shouldn't misbehave. Players shouldn't think they can do whatever they want when they are in camp. I think it is the best way to go.
And just before I let you go, Nuhu, because of Patrick Asma's absence, Kotoko would not be with natural left back when they travel to Sugakope to face Wafa, because there's no Emoru Ibrahim and now there's no Patrick Asma. But looking at the bigger picture, do you think Kotoko will put an end to their struggles in Sugakope over the weekend?
Well, Sugakope is one ground that has been very difficult for Kotoko. I think since Feyenoord or Wafa returned to the league in 2015, they've not lost to Kotoko in Sugakope. They've won 3 and drawn 3 out of the 6 matches they played with Kotoko at Sugakope. Even when they were Feyenoord, that was the 2005-2006 season. Feyenoord were relegated, but they still beat Kotoko at home. So they have that edge over Kotoko anytime they play at home. But I think Kotoko is aware of the threat coming from Bechem United and House of Hope. Even if they can't win, at least getting a draw will be much better, because this is a team that is also struggling and fighting relegation. So they also want to put in everything to make sure they get at least all the 3 points. And it's going to be a difficult game. But I still expect Kotoko, even without a left back, they can still improvise, use Sheriff Mohammed, who has played at left back this season before, and then they can get the results they want.
All right, thank you very much, Nuhu Adams. And let's continue on the bulletin and head to Europe as we look at the fixtures across Europe's top 5 leagues to look forward to this weekend. Strasbourg are currently hosting Paris Saint-Germain, and Strasbourg have just equalized 3-3 in that game. Paris Saint-Germain had a 3-1 goal lead, but Strasbourg just got their equalizer in the 93rd minute. But there'll be more games in the French league. I remember Paris Saint-Germain are still champions-elect, and this result wouldn't change much, but Marseille would be hosting Lyon, and that should be the fixture of the round, as Monaco also host Angers. In La Liga, it was 1-1 between Sevilla and Cadiz. That match is still ongoing. It's still 1-1 between the two sides, but Real Madrid could all but become La Liga champions-elect. All they just need is a point against Espanyol. Barcelona, on the other hand, would be facing Mallorca at home as they look to also put an end to a bad run of form at the Camp Nou. In the English Premier League, it's early kickoff for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, who travelled to St James Park to face Newcastle United to try and keep the pressure on Pep Guardiola's Man City, who would also be at Ellen Road later on in the day to face Leeds United. On Sunday, Chelsea travelled to face their former coaches, Frank Lampard, Everton, and then Tottenham Hotspur would be at home against Leicester City. Arsenal would also look to solidify their 4th spot as they travel to the London Stadium to play West Ham United. Manchester United return to action on Monday when they host Brentford. In the German Bundesliga, Borussia Dortmund would be at home against VfL Bochum. Champions-elect Bayern Munich also traveled to face Mainz 05 as Eintracht Frankfurt, who are in the semi-finals of the Europa League, play on Monday against Bayer Leverkusen, with Borussia Mönchengladbach facing Red Bull Leipzig. Before we go, let's talk tennis, where in its efforts in developing the sport at tertiary school level, a Crepon-based La Constance Tennis Club has donated tennis gears to Dr. Hilal Liman Hall of the University of Ghana. We have more for you in the following report.
The items include 30 sets of tennis rackets, 30 pair of sneakers, 20 tennis covers, and over 1,000 tennis balls. The items were donated by Dr. Ania Pambuafo, founder of La Constance Tennis Club. He explains the rationale behind the donation.
As the saying goes, the best part of every man's life is what you give back to society. And so when you have the ability to do things for society, that is what should drive you. Like I said, I happen to have a good network of institutions in the US that donate a whole lot of tennis equipment for me because of the La Constance Tennis Center that we established. And so with the outflow of some of the things, and when I was contacted by Dr. Owusu, I felt the necessity to extend that kind of activity to the hall so that students would have the opportunity to be able to use tennis for whatever reason that needs to be used for. I think this gesture cannot be translated into money, and it is the use and what comes out of it that is more significant than the amount of money involved. But I also encourage students to take this up as an opportunity because tennis is something that you can live with rest of your life.
Senior tutor of the Hilal Liman Hall, Dr. Kwajo Owusuaye, is grateful to La Constance Tennis Club for their kind gesture.
It's going to benefit about 2,000 students in the hall. Yes, sometimes during breaks or recreation, we had very little to do. I remember I saw students playing football on the tennis court and I felt it was unacceptable. I stopped them. And so I'm happy that at least we have been able to bring tennis to the doorstep of Hilal Liman Hall. And I want to believe that students will actually embrace the spirit of playing tennis in the hall.
Well, that's how we wrap up the Prime Sports here with me, Owuraku Ampofo. You can get some more sports stories on my Joy Online /sports, or you can check our social media handles at JoySportsGH on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have a fantastic weekend.